Hi, hello, good evening, good morning, good afternoon. Whatever you are, whatever platform you're seeing this from, whether it's an audio platform, it's a video platform, the fact that you're choosing to stick around to see what this is all about, thank you. I'm thanking you as early as now. My name is Makia, and welcome to the Midnight Radio. Hi, yeah, so welcome back once again. This is Makia, the phantom broadcaster of the Midnight Radio. Welcome to the show. Welcome to the show, everyone. This is actually the first episode of what can I say? Probably the best way to put it is the revamp of the Midnight Radio. Okay, so for some of you, you might have encountered some of the past episodes. I admit there might be. I didn't take them down. Okay, I didn't take them down. They're still here on my profile. They're probably around on other socials. And at some point, I wanted to, you know, delete all of those and start anew. And this is my starting anew. So the reason why I didn't do that is because I wanted to honor where I started, the kinds of episodes that I did when I was starting out. That's not really saying a lot, okay? It's not as if like the show is super big. It's not as if like we've gotten pretty far, but there's a reason why I'm restarting the whole thing, honestly. And if you're still here, thank you. If you're keeping me in the background, whether you're studying, you're working, you're just cooking, you're doing whatever. You're cleaning your room, you're just hanging out, you're vibing, and somehow you have me on your background. I really want to thank you for that. And the reason why I'm doing this, I just actually hit record. Okay, I actually just hit record and I'm just yapping my heart out. And I've been doing a lot of things for the Midnight Radio. I've conceptualized over and over again. I've thought about doing a scripted show. I've thought about doing a whole lore, kind of like Welcome to Night Vale. Welcome to Night Vale was such a huge, huge influence. I love that podcast. I love the black tapes. I love all of those types of podcasts where it's just like you build up a whole lore. You have all of these characters. You have a main storyline and you just make do with it and see where it takes you. Right? And you fully produce it with all of these sound effects, with all of these really, really cool stuff. And for a while, I wanted the Midnight Radio to be like that. I admit. But another thing that I want to admit is it crippled me to no end. I wanted it to be so perfect. Okay, I wanted it to be so perfect. I wanted it to be of high quality. I wanted it to be like the shows that heavily influenced a lot of my creative endeavors to say the least. But at the end of the day, I realized that wanting it to be that way isn't going to get me anywhere. And if there's one thing people kind of like came to love about whatever, right? Whether it's the Midnight Radio, whether it's me as your phantom broadcaster, it's just all of these raw things, all of these raw moments where I just talk. I just talk to you guys. And tell you how I feel with the hopes of you guys finding some sort of like solace in it, finding some sort of like, hey, you know what? You're right. I can totally relate to that. I think I don't feel alone anymore because your yaps, whether they make sense or not, somehow make sense to me. Okay. So that's like where I'm at right now. So, one thing about the Midnight Radio is I wanted it to be a cozy space. Initially, I was aiming for the whole idea for it to be a cozy horror type of vibe, and it's gonna be. I aimed for it to be a total contrast. There's this spooky, spooky, spooky radio show that came out of nowhere. Suddenly, it's haunting the radio airwaves, blah blah blah, and then there's this weird phantom broadcaster who's just, oh hey hi hello, but then it's this cozy show. And from the cozy show, I was like, oh, do we do it ASMR? Do we speak like this? Do we help you fall asleep? Do we just whisper in our mics and think of, hey, hi, Think of happy thoughts. Think of strolling down the cemetery late at night with nothing but the sound of the owls, with nothing but the cracking leaves under you. I don't know. Okay. Something like that. But then again, if now that I'm thinking more about it, our midnight thoughts are probably the rawest ever. It might not be literally midnight thoughts like 12 in the morning and you're thinking of things or whatever, but like the things that we think about when we fall, before we fall asleep. These are just some of the most raw things that ever exists, right? Our worries often resurface when we're about to fall asleep. I guess it's because it's a time of day where you're not practically busy with so many things, whether it's work, whether it's studies, whether it's responsibilities or whatever, right? Those things are kind of like out the door when you're trying to fall asleep. Excuse me, you're probably doom scrolling on your phone, checking out tons and tons of reels, TikToks, shorts, whatever, or you're drowning in thoughts that are at its rawest possible form. I don't know. That's what happens to me. Okay, that's what happens to me. So oftentimes I stay up late trying to make sense of these thoughts. So I was like, hey, you know what? I was aiming for the midnight radio to be a cozy space for people, for it to be relatable, for it to be like, hey, you know what? I don't feel alone anymore because of the midnight radio. So I was like, you know what? Why don't I just do something like this? I'll just hit record and talk. And from trying to figure out a really cool podcast, right? From trying to produce a really cool podcast and making it with a full lore, with a, I don't know, foolproof background of things, of information, of characters, of lore, and whatever. Why don't I just show up, hit the record button, and just talk and be with you, you know? Be with you guys and make this like the voice notes, or you know that common thing where it's like how your notes app would look like. You have a grocery list, you have like some number or some email address of some person that you don't want to forget, and then you have this whole ass note of raw emotions and whatever. I kind of like, I was hoping, why don't we do the midnight radio, why don't we turn the midnight radio into something like that? Yeah. And maybe, just maybe, if I keep on showing up like this, you'll find some sort of solace in it. You'll find that, hey, you know what? This crazy phantom broadcaster who yaps about everything and nothing at the same time might just be what I need. Maybe it's the voices in my head it's a voice in my head that I actually want to listen to, whether they make sense or not. So, yeah, I'm still trying to figure out how to work this out, how I really want the midnight radio to be. But if there's one thing that I probably would b- I mean, if there's one thing that I would know at this point already, is that I want to stop being pressured to make it absolutely flawless and perfect, and I just want to show up, show up, do the work, and see where it goes, right? I know that if we're going to try to build something out of it, I have to take things seriously. I have to take things seriously. That's kind of like how I'm also wired in real life, is to research, research, make sure that there's no room for error, or at least as minimal error as possible. Operate with some sort of data backing you up, operate with some sort of strategy backing you up. And maybe that works. Maybe that works in other things, in like marketing, or like business, or like management, and all of those serious things. But we have way too many of these serious things in real life. So I don't know. Maybe at some point I'll try to do that. I'll try to figure all of that out. But for now, I just want to show up and be here. And as my husband would say, winging it. If it was possible for him, and it was possible for people to just show up, wing it, and hope for the best, then maybe I should try that out too. And I don't know what I'm yapping about. I don't know what I'm yapping about right now, but like, um, hopefully it's with all of these yaps that I'm trying to get out of my head. Hopefully you find something in it as well, and maybe you're just like me. Maybe you're just like me, paralyzed about a certain decision that you want to do, want to go for, and you're scared of failure. You're scared of screwing up. You're scared of, oh, I'm not fully prepared. So I don't know if I should do it. At this point in time, when I was doing the first few episodes of the Midnight Radio, I thought I was fully prepared, right? I had the full structure, I had the full idea of what I wanted to do, and I thought I'd be able to be okay. I thought that would work for me. Like, hey, I have a full guide, right? Then that should be fine. That should be fine. But then it also felt pretty pretentious for me. And if there's one thing, I can't be relatable if things feel pretentious for me. You know what I mean? Like, that doesn't really make sense. I'm not saying that it's all about. I mean, I'm not saying that I'm gonna be sharing with you like every single thing about my life story and whatnot. But at least the vibe, right? At least the vibe. I just want to be real and show up and hope for the best. I probably initially wanted it to be cozy and like, oh hi, my name is Makeeya, the random broadcaster of the Midnight Radio. But then I was like, nah. Well, in as much as I want to, I couldn't really bring out my energy. I couldn't really bring out what I want to say, what I want to do, the message that I want to share with you guys. If I'm just gonna keep on talking like this and being all ASMR, I mean, we can do an entirely different content on that, right? Probably. But at least in the sense of the Midnight Radio, let's just keep it real. So I don't know. I don't know what the start of this would be. I have a whole, at least like a general idea of what I want to talk about over the next couple of episodes in a way that's not as structured as the past ones, and probably a bit more structured than this. I don't know. Honestly, I just wanted this first one of a revamp, of sorts, to just be as raw as possible. So that's it. That's the Midnight Radio for you. And if you're still here right now, if you're still listening to me, if you're somehow finding solace or finding these yaps senseless and sensible at the same time, then do let me know. Do let me know, and I would honestly love to know what y'all would think. I mean, I stream a couple of games and stuff, and I do end up yapping like this in my own streams as well, and it's turning out to be pretty nice. We once went on a bit of a tangent on one of my streams talking about bugs and fears and fear of bugs at the same time, and it went on for an entire 30 minutes, and I'm like, hey, you know what, there's something there. I wasn't It wasn't a full on we didn't plan to talk about it. It just happened, and I was like, these raw moments mean something. So I don't know. I don't know. Like, probably there's that itch, there's that thought that won't sit still on your head, and you're just trying to figure it out. I guess what I'm saying is, if there's going to be that one thought that won't sit still, try to figure out that root, that cause, that thought itself. So for me, for the Midnight Radio, is I wanted to be cozy, I wanted to be relatable, I wanted to be something that people can listen to whatever they're doing. If they can't sleep at night and they just want a bit of like a companion, like a friend who's just yapping to no end, then that's it. I want to be relatable. I want this to be a safe space. So I know that's my main idea, but then I eventually went into a whole new tangent of trying to figure things out in a very different way. And then now I'm like, no, that's what I want to do. So I'm doing it right now. And you know what the thing is, though? The thing is, I do not know. I do not know how the hell to end an episode like this. If it's like, if we don't have structure anymore, then I don't know. I don't know how to end it anymore. I used to have this like closing spiel and whatever, but I don't have that now. So, guys, I guess let's just all figure it out together. And I hope you are in it with me for the ride. And yeah, if there's anything, then do let me know. I would love to like talk about it. If there are things that we want to yap about for like 15 minutes, I'm looking at my recording now. It's like 15 minutes long. If there's something we can yap about for like 15 minutes straight plus plus, then why not? Why not, right? So, yeah. Once again, this has been your phantom broadcaster, Makia. And I'm trying to end this in the best way possible, but I really don't know how. So, for now, I wish you all well. And I hope you'll keep on coming back to the Midnight Radio, listening to all of these, like, at this point, they're just like personal notes and me just hoping for the best, hoping that you'll find some sort of solace in in these senseless yet hopefully sensible yaps from the phantom broadcaster who talks about everything and nothing all at once. I think that's going to be my new tagline. But until then, until we figure things out, and we'll continue figuring things out, this has been your phantom broadcaster, Makia, wishing you to sleep well, dream deep, and don't let the shadows get lonely. Until the next one, bye bye.